One way you as a parent can ease the stress for your childcare provider is to be prepared. How, you ask? By filling out required paperwork and giving it to your provider before your child starts. Regulations state that each child needs to have a completed file on hand while attending a childcare facility. Children's records are important for emergency situations. If an emergency were to happen, providers need to have correct and updated information on your child to hand to authorities to take care of the possible situation. If providers do not have up-to-date forms on hand, then the provider will be cited for incomplete documentation. We are going to walk through what paperwork providers are required to have in your child's file. Your provider may give you a copy, but we will go over how to obtain these documents yourself. We will start on the Kansas Department of Health and Environment website, which you can find at kdheks.gov. Here is the home page. To the right of the page, we will look for the Child Care Facility tab. On the left of the screen, click on the Child Care Licensing, Paper Authorizations, and Forms. This is the 10th tab down. Next, you can search by program. I will choose Licensed Group Daycare Home. On this page, you will find authorizations and forms a licensed or group daycare home may need. The ones in red are specifically for children. Here, you can see the document number and name. I will start with the top red link titled Authorization for Emergency Medical Care, also known as an EMR form. Here is what the EMR form looks like. The EMR is used in emergency situations to allow your child to be treated at a hospital. At Lawrence Memorial here in Douglas County, they require the EMR form to be updated yearly and notarized. You want to make sure that all lines are completely filled out as mentioned before. Providers will have their information filled out, but if you are doing this by yourself, don't worry about facility information. Your provider can help you fill that in later. This top portion is mostly facility information. Let's skip down to the third blank here. You can list your child's first and last name. Next, we are going to fill in the dates this document is valid for. This document needs to be renewed yearly and notarized. If you are filling out this for the first time, make sure that this date is the starting date and the next date is 1 year after your start date, like so. If you are filling this out as a renewal, put the date you got the document notarized, which will make these two dates match. Then, make this date 1 year after your notarization date. Wait to sign the document until you are notarizing the form. The date that is written here is the date that surveyors look for. This will tell them if the document is in good standing. Underneath the notarization box, you will find a place to list other information such as any known allergies. Next, check yes or no if your child has health care insurance. Here, please list the health insurance policy name and number, as well as other information regarding your insurance. Lastly, if you have your immunization records, please state when the last tetanus vaccination was administered to your child. An easy way to find this on an immunization track sheet will be to look for the DTaP vaccination date. This includes the tetanus vaccination and should be the date used. Next, we are going to complete the medical record form, which we can find on the KDHE website in the red titles. This form has 3 documents attached that are all important. We will start with the medical record. Children are required to have a complete medical record form when attending childcare. This document has parent and child information for the purpose of having current contact information in the case of an emergency. It is important that all lines are filled out for each parent. If there is one parent, put an X through the non-applicable information. Here, you can fill out authorized persons who are allowed to pick your child up from daycare. Make sure you include their name, address, and phone number so providers can verify they are authorized to pick the child up. Next, make sure you fill out your child's physician and dentist facility, including their phone numbers. Here, you should list the preferred hospital for emergencies you wish your child to be brought to. Next, if your child is prescribed medications, first check yes or no here. Then, if it is a long-term or short-term medication, additional forms will need to be filled out and can be found on the KDHE website in red. Next, please document yes or no for each of the following conditions your child may have, like so. The last information here is asking about your child. Do not forget to sign the document at the bottom and date as well. Your provider should not accept the form if you do not sign and date it. The next page in the document is the history of immunizations. This KDHE form can be used, or some doctors use their own form of immunization records. Either are fine. If your child is exempt from immunizations, Section 2 of this form will need to be filled out, choosing either option A or B along with a parent's signature and date. A child may only be exempt from immunizations when a licensed physician has stated that the vaccination would endanger a child's life, or your family's religious domination opposes immunizations. Immunizations need to be brought to providers when a child has been administered new vaccinations. It is regulation for childcare facilities to have children vaccinated. If there is no documentation, the providers will be in non-compliance. The last document is the Child Health Assessment Form. You may use the KDHE form or a doctor's health assessment form. Either is fine. They both need to be signed by a doctor or nurse and dated. The health assessment needs to be completed within 6 months of starting childcare. If your child is transferring to another program, the same health assessment may be used. Again, these documents need to be completely filled out and up to date. Check with your provider for any additional help filling out the information required. I hope this video has helped you when filling out your child care facility paperwork.